So, what is going on, everybody out there in YouTube land? This is Johnny Hardcore. What's going on? Give you guys a little bit of a cheers, skull. What other words are there? Muzzle tough? I don't know. All right, anyway, let's get down to business. First of all, talking about business, we need 1,000 subscribers here. All right? We're losing watch time. Anybody out there knows about YouTube, let's go. Do what you got to do. Let's get some subs. Let's hit that 1,000 subscribers mark. Let's make this happen. So if you are into anything like this, or anything like this, let's give you a little walk around. Everything is off right now. I'll explain what's going on after we walk around. All these games are unplugged because if they are plugged in, they are constantly draining and drawing electricity, even though they're off. Because every time I walk by them when they're off, I get shocked or I feel some kind of shock. Why that is, I have no idea. Someone could tell me in a comment. Go right ahead. Enlighten me because I'm in the dark. So you hear my slippers dragging in on the basement floor. So as I take a sip of this black beer, what's it called? It is called Guinness. And my sound healing Vikinga will be coming down pretty soon to share a couple of glasses of ale when we enjoy some frosty beverages like this or some red vino, aka wine, as we call it, ale from the Last Kingdom. Share a cup of ale. I'm going to be doing something that I don't know if I should do or not. I'll explain this situation and after the sip of ale. Hold on. I haven't taken it yet. Hold on. That was good. And if you are in the relaxing mode where you can have yourself a nice ice cold brew, go get yourself one. Come hang out with Johnny Hardcore and Sound Healing Vikinga in the Monsta Core Arcade. Monster with an A core with a K. Arcade with a K. All right, so let me explain my agenda for the next couple of days, which is this weekend, starting tomorrow, which will be Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Now, I live in Staten Island, New York. The forecast for this weekend, Friday, Saturday, is going to be rain. And the reason why that is not good is because, no, it's not because I work outside, which I do. I've been working outside in the rain for the last 20 years, so that really doesn't faze me anymore. I'm not made of sugar, and I'm definitely not made of salt, so I don't melt. But I am going to make this decision right now as I record this video and have another sip of some ale. And I'll sit down on this baby Pac-Man bench because my old bones and my body is tired. So, first of all, I just gotta explain what I'm doing, and then we'll go from there as this video records. I'm in the midst of going to sell Scared Stiff. Now, I've had interest on it on Pinside and maybe some other interest, but people just fish and they want to throw the line in the water and see what they get, as far as prices go. Then they lowball you and all this whole nonsense. But this game is not worth, it's not cheap. It has value. It's really topped out, I would say. I can't see it going any higher, So it's time for it to be sold. Now, this game is the one that means a lot to me. The Elvira with the R-rated boobs. This is a game I played when I was a kid more than this one, even though I did play this game as a kid. Scared Stiff. I played Scared Stiff in an arcade in the Poconos called the Fernwood that I showed you the sign of, which is no longer in business. Whatever happened, tough times fell. It was before COVID, or maybe it was right after COVID or during COVID. I really don't know the time frame of when it went under, but these two games I played in the Fernwood, and I remember Elvira distinctly because it was just one of my favorite games. I was really good at it too. I loved playing it. And then after however many years it was, because this game came out in, let's see the date. It's in the late 80s. Hold on a second. All right. It doesn't really matter what year exactly it came out. It was the late 80s. I'm going to say like 89 was Elvira and the Party Monsters. And then I'm going to say the early 90s was Scared Stiff. So first they had Elvira and the Party Monsters. EATPM is what they label it as. And then there was Scared Stiff. A little more to Scared Stiff with the back box having the spinning spider. The playfield to me does not, I mean, I don't know, compared to Elvira and Party Monsters, it's not much different as far as things go. I mean, it does have the crate, which is cool, a cool mode when it goes into that mode. It has the fogging skull pile of crap, as I like to call that. It's the deadheads. And the deadheads are over here too, just a different variation of deadheads. But I'm bummed. I mean, the way I feel right now, I really don't have to sell it. I mean, for whatever reason, I don't have to sell it. It's not like imperative for me to sell. So I'm going to really think about this before I start breaking it down, because in order for me to get this game out of here, there's going to be a lot involved. And I'm not really in the mood to deal with nonsense right now. I'm not, as much as I want to sell it, I mean, I feel like it will sell, because Thursday is the day like all the pinheads that go and set up, they wheel and deal right away. And if they see something they want, they just buy it. That's like the day to buy stuff. So if I did want to sell this, tomorrow is the day. As another take another sip of ale. I'll give you another cheers. Boom. I do have ice cubes in it because it was not in the refrigerator. So I'm not waiting for it to get cold. I'm just going to have some because it's getting late. It's a good beer holder and wine holder. The pocket of the billiard table that needs to go as well. as I clear my throat. So what I want to do is take Scared Stiff to Pinfest tomorrow, Thursday, and I would have to wake up at like probably, I have to like really plan this a little bit better, because I can't remember exactly, but I think that Pinfest it opens at 1 to start setting up. And that for me is cutting it very close, because I have to be at work at 4. And like I really need to be there tomorrow at 4. It's like a good day for me to work. So I'm gonna have to really do some serious calculations on this. Unless I change my shift to 7 and then go up there early and then have that extra time to work with, which is something that I can do. I can do it. I could do it tonight if I really wanted to. It's possible. I can even make a phone call and see if that could happen. But there's a lot to do with this, and I'll tell you my scenario and situation, and you could even say to me in a comment or afterwards or whatever like that. I only have a truck. I have a Silverado. It's it's got the big bed, 6.5-inch bed. I mean 6.5 foot bed. It's the bigger one, the crew cab, not the super cab. So there's room in the back seat for my kids who are tall. And then actually there's room in the front for 3. So my truck is big enough to handle at least 2 pinball machines and possibly even 3. Because I was thinking of taking both Scared Stiff and the Pinbot, which I showed you earlier, and then this sucker down there. I just see all the FNAFs and plushies on the pool table. That home use only Fireball, which is really nice, really nice condition, and that's something I think would sell easily, because I'm not going to ask much more than maybe $1,100 for it, just because of the shape that it's in. It's like mint, almost mint condition. It's not like mint because it's it's whatever, but it's really nice shape. So if someone really wanted it, that they could get for, 1,100. I might even put up there for a little bit more than 1,100. I'm gonna go over Pinside in a little while and see what these prices are at the moment, and then the shape that they're in, and then take it from there. But that's my goal. So that's what I wanted to do. Now the dilemma that I have is that it's gonna rain, and it's supposed to rain on Saturday, and Saturday is the day that I would have to go back up there in the morning because I can't leave the games up there anymore past Saturday. If no one buys it tomorrow, which if they bought it tomorrow, my problems are solved. It's like I'm almost kind of taking a chance in a way to do this, but also playing it by ear how I'm supposed to do this. But it's going to rain on Saturday. So just to say, if nothing sells, so I'm stuck taking this game, scared stiff back, the Pinball that I saw before, which is a big game. It's a wide body game. It's heavy. It's not easy to get up the stairs. It's going to be some effort and take it apart and stuff like that. So I mean, honestly, I don't even know if I'm taking that with me. I think that's going to stay here. I think I might just take the scared stiff and even just take Fireball. I don't know. I'm trying to be smart, but I'm also trying to unload a couple games because I need to make room down here. I need to breathe. Having some extra cash is always good. It's the time to sell right now because it is Pinfest. It's definitely the time. Everybody has their tax money. All the pinheads that are out there. This show's been going on for decades, and they know this is the time. You want to buy something tomorrow. Tomorrow is the day. Tomorrow is the day to buy. 100%. If I brought my Tron, which is right here, this would sell. And if I even put it up for like $10,000, no joke, it would have some serious offers and come close to that number. So I mean, I would do that too. But I mean, now that the Tron movie's coming out, they're probably gonna make another Tron, and this game has done nothing but went up and up and up in value. So this would be one to sell too. But I am a collector, and I do, even though I don't play them, I still love pinball. Still have a passion for this. I still have aspirations of possibly doing an arcade or something like that. So I feel like also selling games is also taking away my assets and the what you need if you're going to do anything like that. So I'm like not hesitating right now, but I'm really gonna just contemplate and wait for my SHV to get here and talk with her a little bit about herself because she loves pinball too. She loves this one the most, I would say. Guns N' Roses. She always puts the slash hat on when she plays, and then also she loves Twister. These are like her go-to games. Very special games to her for whatever reason. I actually got this with her. I actually got this with her in mind, and she actually came to get Stranger Things Premium with me when times were really good, and it was insane to get it too. The freaking traffic going to get this game was off the wall. It was redlined all the way to far Long Island. This is another game that she really likes, Revenge from Mars. It's an alien game, and she's all into the aliens, the alien theme. So anyway, what I'm going to do in the next couple of hours is make some real serious decisions. And it's a matter of I have to just base everything on reality and time, weather, the amount of work that I have to do this. Because if I am to move Scared Stiff, which is the one I want to sell, I'm going to have to maneuver. I'm going to have to spin Elvira and the Party Monsters like that. It's going to have to go that way, right? And then I'm going to have to shimmy this out, break it down, right? And then put it all, ratchet strap it together, and then wheel it through this area right here. It would actually fit. It would actually fit right through here. So I don't have to really worry about these games. But what I do have to do is move these two big boys, right, and slide them this way, right, which I could do. Not that big of a deal. Then I have to take these two suckers right here, right, and I have to manually lift them because there's no wheels on them. That's just the way they are. It just works that way because they're cabaret size, right? And I have the landing of my stepwell, my Monsta Core stepwell, or landing, whatever you call it. And that's just the way it is. It works. But there's some maneuvering to do, and it's really not that big of a deal, but it is maneuvering, And then it also, when I do this maneuvering, it's gonna get me it's going to make me make some other moves, which I want to do, which is one of them is to take up this Donkey Kong that needs to go to the tech. Now, to get a tech to come in here, it costs extra money. So what I want to do is give this to him, let him work on it in his shop. So he has it right there. When he wants to deal with it, he deals with it. He doesn't feel pressure, working in the basement. If it doesn't work out, then I'm not losing money. I'll give it to him. It's a computer-based one. It's a multi-arcade machine. It has probably 60-in-1, in there. So I'm going to see what he can do with this. And if he could fire it up, that'd be great. Then it's a 60-in-1. I might throw this into the bar arcade, which is whatchamacallit, or I might keep it here. I'll figure that out. But I want to get this thing running as much as I want to get all of them running, of course. But this is the next one on the list. So if I do make these moves, it's gonna catapult me to bring this one upstairs and take it to the shop to let it get fixed. And then I'll have the other ones outside that need to also go to the shop. And I actually don't have to do those. I have to put them in my neighbor's garage because it's going to rain. I'm not ready to put them anywhere yet. So I have to ask her again if I can just use her garage, which is always kind to me and lets me do what I need to do. Very, very awesome neighbor, Karen, right next door. And I also asked her about taking this pool table too. It would look perfect down. She has a huge, it's like a very similar sized basement that I have, but my basement is I think her house might be a little bit longer. It's the way her house is set up. I just, looked, I don't know. But I have wall-to-wall pinball machines here, so you really can't see exactly how much room is down here. There's room. If there was nothing down here, it'd be pretty big basement, I guess. I don't know. I can't really gauge it anymore because there's so much stuff down here. But when you have kids, 3 kids, and you buy them everything for 14 years, you accumulate a lot of stuff, and a lot of the stuff that we accumulate is not garbage. It's collectible, and it has value, and it has also sentimental value to them and to me, and so it's hard to get rid of certain things, even though a lot of things can be gotten rid of. There's certain things that we don't want to get rid of. So anyway, that's my situation. Just wanted to share that with you, and also think while I'm talking about it. And also, if I do make the moves, I'll have this video to show where I started and then where it will go. Because once these things are moved, it's going to look like, it's not going to look so organized, which is, honestly, it's not really unorganized right now. It's kind of, this is more organized than it's been. Even though the plushes are on the pool table, that can go in a garbage bag tomorrow. That's nothing. And the other, toys, I actually just put them up so I can make use of them, like this Tron LED light that has to go over behind the Tron topper, which would look really, really cool. It's a recognizer. That would look really, really cool. And then I want to hang this right here. So these are, things that I would like to do. I would like to get this basement the way it can be, and enjoy it. Like, I used to enjoy things and not have clutter and crap and this and that and everything else. But like I said, there's a lot of things to go through to see what's garbage and what's not garbage. And most of the stuff here is not garbage. As much as it might look like it's clutter, it's not. It's a lot of good stuff. So anyway, but that's my situation. And you see, I thought about the Pinbot, and the Pinbot is not only a heavy machine, it will not, almost positively will not clear the door upstairs. And I'm not going through putting all the connectors together again because that's a pain in the A. And my son, my son, we don't curse on the channels, even on this one that's like more of an adult channel. Whenever I said hell, he's like, hey. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. Sorry, we can't be cursing. Even hell, right? Even though it's not really a curse, but. So see now I'm realizing that Pinbot can't go because it's just too much of an issue to get up the stairs. And I gotta whatchamacallit, I gotta choose my battles. And I know there's always a last action here at the show. This could be an easy one to take up the stairs. It really doesn't mean anything to me. It could go, I could probably get like maybe $3,000 for this thing. So if I wanted to, I could take it up there too. But this is also a game that's a good game to put in the bar. If the bar keeps going. But it's a good one. It's not like a beautiful one. It's a good player. It's a better than player's game. Like if I put in a bar or something happens to it, I'm not going to cry about it. you know. So it's something that could go. It would be a good one to switch out when the time comes. So like that doesn't have to go upstairs either. But the only thing that matters right now, and it's like the Scared Stiff might be the only one I take. And then you know what I might do actually? Take the Scared Stiff. Right? I have games upstairs that I could take too that are, you know, could just be sold for whatever price, a fair price. Just take what, you know, take an offer and go. But they're not gonna, it's hard to even like say gauge like this. This one I think would sell. I think this one would sell. The only I have to do is I have to take this whatchamacallit off the lockdown bar, which is not really a lockdown bar. Yeah, I guess it is a lockdown bar. It's just a different one, an older one, like with no whatchamacallit. So you have to like take the screws out or whatever these things are. I took the shooter. The shooter, I think I made it too short. I changed it, and it's like now it's missing the ball or the adjustment around that. So that's the only issue with this game. Oh, it needs a fuse too, man. Oh my god, it needs this fuse. I don't know what the fuse it is. Can't even tell. I have to look it up. I'm not prepared for this at all. Not at all. But anyway, that's where I'm at. You know, you can see what I have over here. I really don't ever want to sell, you know, a lot of these games. I mean, for years I would like to enjoy them, especially when I retire, because I am looking to retire, possibly this year, man. October 15th is a possibility, very, very big possibility, and then I might just finish the year out and then take it from there. But I'm gonna have to really think about things a little bit more before I make any moves. But if there is a game that's good, that I would try to sell, it would be Scared Stiff, because I don't really remember anyone bringing a Scared Stiff to the show because of the value it has, and I think tomorrow might be the day to do it. It might even go right away, which would be awesome, you know, and that'll be that. But I would go back there. What day would I go back there? Oh man! And Saturday, Saturday's Monster Jam too, with Jonathan at MetLife, and me and him are just gonna go. So I have to be back here, you know, at least by like 3:30, no joke. So I get there in time because it's always traffic. And last time I went to Monster Jam was last weekend with Jax, Jonathan, and I went. We were late because we went to the East Coast Haunters Convention by Transworld in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And it wasn't in Philly; it was like Oakville or something like that. And I figured that it would be close to the Lincoln Financial Field in Philly, and it wound up being almost an hour and 20 minutes from one venue to the other. And we were late easily by an hour to Monster Jam, which really, I mean, it is what it is, but that was not my intention. And I had to do both. I had to do the show. And I had work and all this other stuff the day before, and I did everything I could, and I just couldn't do it all, and I really half-aid the show. I could have did so much better at the show with a really, really good long walkthrough video, and there was other guys that I needed to see, like other haunters that I needed to connect with that I haven't seen in a while. That would have been a really good thing too, especially for our other channel, Monster Core. So that's that. All right, anyway, let me have a couple more sips of the Al. I'm going to press pause on a video. I'm going to do some thinking and then take it from there. But that is the situation here in the Monster Core Arcade, basement level. And we will see what we do. The one thing I'm not going to do, unless I sell Scared Stiff, is buy a pinball machine or an arcade machine. That is something I don't want. I really cannot do. I mean, of course, there's gonna be something that I want. Of course, there's gonna be something there for maybe for the right price. And I'm gonna be like, and I actually probably, I have, a way of doing it too, which, whatever. But I shouldn't buy any more games. I should stop. I should, probably put the brakes on and work with what I got right now and sell. Mainly because I have not way too many. We're just balls to the wall with them. And, we need to make a little room. And there are other games that I can move around and work with and mess with. So and I want to make this basement more playable for the kids. Even though you might think it's nuts to say that the kids don't really come down here, but they're not into the pinball machines like they used to be. You know, they're into the gaming. They're into the TV, the Xbox, the PlayStation, PS5. You know, even on their phones, they want to play Roblox. They want to play Minecraft now, of course, because the Minecraft movie came out. Yeah, I'll show you my face. Talk to you like this. So you know, this basement years ago when I first bought this house in 2011, this basement was the perfect game room because it came with the pool table. That was the one thing, you know. And I'm like, when I was looking at the house and I saw the pool table, I'm like, this is the house I have to get. You know, it had the perfect yard for a pool, which is also what I was looking for when I was looking for a home. It had to have a yard. It had to have a garage. You know, I didn't really understand what a corner house meant. I knew what detached meant, and I was only looking for a detached house. I didn't really have the concept of a corner house though, which is what I walked into, and I got very, very lucky and blessed with this house, this being a corner house, because you have, you know, instead of having like people, you know, right next to you, like side to side, like, you know, whatever, you know, you have space, you know, you have more space on the corner than you would, you know, in a middle spot, a middle house spot. So, you know, very lucky and blessed for that. So this house was like almost like like you got to get this house. This is the house you have to get. You know, I'm a first time home buyer, and you know, like I said, this pool table. It was like my dad was like, you know, does the pool table come with the house? And of course it did. You know, and the owner was like, yeah, you know, whatever. And it was even there was either other things supposed to be included in the house. I think it was a refrigerator. They wound up taking the refrigerator, and that kind of that didn't really screw me over. But I was like, you know, they made the deal. Then they said, oh, we're taking the fridge now. And whatever. What do you want? Somebody else's refrigerator with all that crap in there? You know, get another refrigerator. It was definitely not a deal breaker. The only thing about the house that I had an issue with was the extension that they made, which was rigor-rood, and it was just a disaster. You know, it was an extra room. You know, we were like, oh, look at this room, and then all of a sudden it was leaking every time it rained, and then the whole ceiling was like caving in. It was like, what was the word? What's the word they used? There's a certain kind of material, as I'm squeezing my eyeballs. Oh, man, I can't think of the name. Give me a second. I'll tell you the name in a second. WKRP? FRP. That's the name of it. Like WKRP in Cincinnati. Like with Johnny Fever. That's his name. It's or Dr. Fever. I forget his name. But there was this material called FRP. And it's like it's used for bathrooms in like, you know, stores or I guess fast food restaurants, you know, old school stuff like that. Maybe in the bathrooms or in the kitchens or something like that. And it's like a waterproof material. It's like a skinny piece, but it's like the whole room was made with FRP, you know, and then the whole ceiling was made with FRP. It was like whoever made this room and this extension was like drunk. Maybe they were drinking the ale. But it was just a disaster, and like no one knew this. I didn't know this. They didn't say, hey, you know, the extension is wrong. They did say there was blueprints filed for it, so it's legal. But as far as the integrity of this thing, it fell apart, you know, and it led me. It became a storage area, and then it all of a sudden became like the garbage area, and it was I just kept throwing garbage, you know, not garbage, right? Just like everything that was in there turned to garbage because the freaking roof leaked, and everything that was in there turned, you know, was water damaged, and I just like, you know, things just started falling apart in my life, so I couldn't even handle that, and it was like whatever. But long story short, too late. I got rid of that. You know, I was able to take it down on my own. I think I did it during COVID too. And I just, you know, I work for Department of Sanitation, so getting rid of stuff is easy for me to do. So I got rid of it. I you know, did little by little. I took down walls at a time. I piled it onto my truck. And my truck is the truck, man. I do so much with my truck. I stacked it as much as I could, with all the walls. You know, I put all the debris in it as much as I could. I just packed my truck up and everything. And it took me a couple runs. I don't know how many times it took me to do it, but I went back and forth to the garage. I don't know how many times I did it. You know, and then when the truck came, I, you know, put it all in the street and tried to get as much done in the truck as well, too, I think. I might have even done that the entire time. Gave the guys a little bit of, you know, of a bonus for the day. And, oh, man, I don't know why my eyes are like this. But, that was that. And then what I did was, eventually we had a nice open space, right? It was like a big space of dirt, right? And then I wound up getting a shed from one of my coworker friends way back when he was like, do you want the shed? He knew I was handy and I was, frugal and this and that. So he's like, if you want the shed, come get it. Just take it, right? He didn't even want any money for it. It cost him like 3 or 4, I don't know how much money he spent, 3 or 4 grand to put this, shed together. It was like a nice shed, right? A 12 by 10 or something like that. And I think it was maybe 10 feet high. Like it's almost like a room, it's just a shed and it has, siding and stuff like that. So when he offered it to me, he's like, but you got to take it down, right? Because he wanted to I think he wanted to get a pool in his backyard or something like that. And I'm looking, I'm like, I'm game, man. I had someone else that at the time helped me take it apart, and we did it. We took it apart. It was like 4 walls, the roof, and then all the pieces of wood and stuff like that. I put this sucker on my back of my truck, like 2 loads, maybe 3 loads. I drove it from his house to my house, which wasn't that far, and I did it. Then it was on my property, for a while too. Like I couldn't get it, put it together. I just couldn't do it by myself. A lot of things happened. But another long story short, too late. We have the shed now. So anyway, just sharing that with you all. If you're still listening, give you another cheers. So that's that. But I'm gonna see what I get going on right now and see if I make this happen. But I think pretty much Scared Stiff is gonna go upstairs tonight, and then I don't know, man. Do I even take the other game too? It's like that's really not worth doing. It's gonna take more time to set it up. Maybe just go with the Scared Stiff. That's it. And I don't know. But the only thing is now this is the real dilemma is the weather. That's the issue that I'm concerned about. And now if this game does not sell, I'm gonna have to see about taking this game home and either renting a U-Haul for the day, which I don't want to do either because it's costly. So it's like I might lose a little bit of money. That's the other thing that I want to deal with. And it's really like a coin toss, no pun intended, if this game sells or not tomorrow, which it has a 50-50 chance of selling. That's pretty good odds. And if it gets the price that I'm going to ask for it, it'll be worth the risk. It'll be worth me going up there tomorrow and then hassling and then all that other stuff. But I have to put it together. I have to put it all together in my head right now and make sense of this because, like I said, there's a lot of deterrences I'm gonna face the next couple of days. One is the weather, which is the biggest one, and pinballs and rain do not mix. So let me figure it out. Let me calm it down with a little more ale. Let me see when Vanessa gets here. Talk with her about it and get her instinct because she has really, really good instinct, and we'll take it from there. All right. So that's it for Johnny Hardcore. Everybody, hang hardcore. Make sure you keep in touch with this channel because there's a lot of good things going on, a lot of good things to come. Eventually I'm going to be doing more pickups, more sales. Going to definitely do a big walkthrough video this weekend of PinFest. I have my new stickers coming probably by tomorrow, so I'm going to hand those out and get this channel monetized, man, and do a big push on it. So, all right, everybody. What do we say from Monsta Arkade? Where's Jax? Game, and then we got to do the gun show. Hold on. The mini gun show. Hardcore. Guns will be loaded soon, man. No time right now for the guns, but soon. Bought some good yard equipment to start working out outside, and once the weather turns, gonna be out there a lot working out and doing what I gotta do out there until it's time to hit the gym really hard. So until then, game hardcore. Yo.